Dr. Wee is steeds saam met my om verder te praat oor die belangrikheid nou van 'n ondersteuningsnetwerk. So, daar het jy nog gehoor wat Marita Sanders daar vir ons vertel van hoe mense wat mekaar nie eens persoonlik ken nie, tog deur social media byvoorbeeld ondersteuning kan bied aan mekaar.
So, as she said, rightfully so, there's a way in which people can have a communal sense of support for one another without even personally knowing one another. And the beautiful thing that comes from that type of support, albeit from a distance, is that it helps to normalize the experience to some extent. Not to say that we don't value or understand how difficult the experience might be, but just to know that you are not the only person feeling this intense heart sore, heartbreak, sorrow, fear, uncertainty, hurt, all of those things. So om die proses iets wat te normaliseer, psychologically that's very important to have that sense of social network. At the same time, it can sometimes be a bit difficult because sometimes these groups can be a bit overwhelming in the sense that it's information overload. So you need to be able to strike a fine balance between what you take from that support system and what you choose to deal with somewhat on your own.
Maar is dit belangrik om aktief deel te neem of kan jy maar net, as ek dit nou so mag stel, 'n spectator wees?
Absolutely, jy kan 'n silent spectator wees. You can watch from the sideline. As I said a moment or two ago, just absorb and take from the experience what you need and then safely kind of like bracket and put aside what you feel you don't need to engage in. But importantly, what I like about what she shared is the common experience, the commonality of it, so that people don't further have to feel a sense of social isolation, because remember, we're already isolated from one another enough, and then again, to normalize how it is, even though it's such a strange new experience, but just some sense of normality in this time of absolute newness to absolute everything.
Wat sê jy van daai mense wat 'n bietjie skepties is oor sulke dinge en sê nee jong, dis amper soos jy gaan kerk toe en iemand preek en jy's opgesuig en jy kom maar uit nat gesweet, maar as jy by die huis kom dan wag hy donkerte nog steeds vir jou.
Dis presies hoekom ek sê, you can somehow approach it by taking from the experience what you want to, or what you can, or what your time and your energy and your resources allow you to take. Because the same source of support can also be overwhelming for an individual. Let's say, for example, you are not processing this loss or this death as quickly as another person on the group. It might make you feel a little bit, okay, so what's wrong with me? Because they seem to be able to get on with life, and I'm still here on point one. So that's why I'm saying, Hein, I can't emphasize and underscore enough that you need to be able to somehow strike a balance. On a practical level, what that might mean is if sometimes you need to disengage from the group, mute it, or just not look at the group chat for some time during the day or during the week, that's okay as well.
Want ek wou jou juist vra, wat van daai mense wat voel, hulle wil eintlik nie enigsins met sulke goed te doen hê nie, hulle wil net daar op hulle eie sit en van self die verliesproses, hoe lank dit ook al mag vat.
Presies. Remember, loss, bereavement, mourning, it's never the same for two separate people. One person might take a month to process a loss, the next person might take 10 years. We cannot prescribe to say there's a manual that says within 6 months you need to be able to have processed and dealt with this loss. It's not the same formula for every single person. And the danger with these group chats is that people feel a sense of pressure. Get over it. I mean, it's 10 million messages sometimes on one day, and it can simply become too overbearing and too much. So again, make a time during the day to look at it, engage and take what you can, but there also needs to be times during the day where you as an individual allow yourself to sit with that aloneness of this experience.
Baie dankie dat jy vanaand weer jou kennis en insig met ons kom deel, Dr. Lizelle de Wee. Ons het nou aan die einde van vanaand se show gekom en baie van die groot mense gehoor, maar ons wil ook hoor wat sê die kinders. Stuur vir ons asseblief 'n video na klop@aktueel.tv waarin jou kind ons vertel wat hulle die meeste mis van die tyd voor COVID-19. Onthou om jou telefoon dwars te hou wanneer jy die video rekord en laat weet ons waar jy woon. Tot volgende week in Woensdag, wees lekker met jouself en wees lekker met ander mense deur jou masker te dra.